For those of you who don't know or remember Gina Carano,
Carano was named America's hottest woman by a few big magazines. The media and sport fans dubbed her the face of women's MMA. She drew fans' attention to women's MMA and inspired thousands of girls to become fighters.
started off her career in Muay Thai, going 12-1-1. After that, she transitioned into MMA. Her first fight was June 10, 2006, quickly becoming popular and putting the first major spotlight on women's MMA. Her fights were among the first ever women's MMA fights to be televised, and although her career was relatively short, she proved women could headline major MMA events. Her athleticism, striking, and Muay Thai style to go with her media presence made her an instant star, winning 2 awards for MMA Female Fighter of the Year in 2008. She finished with a record of 7-1, 4 of the wins coming via finish, with her only loss being the powerhouse Chris Cyborg via KO in 2009. It was a historic fight, as it was the first time a woman's bout headlined a major MMA event. Following the loss, she went on to become an actress, with roles in things like Fast and Furious 6, Haywire, Blood and Bone, and The Mandalorian, amongst others. Although it's been 17 years since she's last fought professionally, I think she has a good chance to pull off the upset win at 44 years old, or at least make it an exciting fight, as long as she can keep it on the feet to avoid the Queen of Armbars specialty. Speaking of the Queen of Armbars, Ronda Rousey. If anyone is to get credit for what women's MMA is today, it's Ronda Rousey. Gina might have touched the handle, but Ronda opened the door wide open. First American woman to earn an Olympic medal in judo, first female fighter to be signed to the UFC back in 2012, as well as the first women's UFC champ and last women's Strikeforce champ. She dominated a professional MMA career. She was snapping people's arms. Arm bars 24/7, one after the other, after the other, after the other. it was wild. She finished her MMA career with a record of 12 wins, 2 losses. She was 6-2 in the UFC. Of her 12 wins, 9 of them were by submission, 3 of them were by knockout, 100% finish rate in all of her fights. Now, her last 2 fights and her only 2 losses, they did come by knockout herself. The first one was the Holly Holm, and then a year later to the GOAT, Amanda Nunes fame. She went on to sign to the WWE in 2018, winning multiple belts and I think even holding 3 at once, if I'm not mistaken. On to also acting herself, playing in things like The Expendables 3, Entourage, Fast and Furious 7, and Mile 22. Definitely a winnable fight for Ronda.
While Ronda rewrote the UFC's business model, over $12 million in fight purses, she headlined 6 pay-per-view events and generated over 5 million buys. Her 6 title defenses generated $250 million in pay-per-view revenue alone. These numbers were crucial in UFC's future deals, including its $1.5 billion ESPN deal in 2021. During the 2016 Fox TV rights negotiations, UFC used Rousey's demographic numbers, 38% female viewership compared to the UFC's usual 18%, to justify demanding 4 times more than usual in licensing fees. The deal ultimately settled at $200 million per year, nearly double the previous contract, largely thanks to Rousey's ability to bring in a new audience. That year, the UFC was sold for $4 billion, a mind-blowing leap from its $2 million purchase price in 2001. If you think Ronda didn't play a major role in that, you weren't paying attention. She helped the UFC expand into new markets. TV executives suddenly cared about MMA. UFC executive Lawrence Epstein put it bluntly: she brought in viewers who never watched MMA before, soccer moms, teenage girls, and mainstream sports fans. During her title reign, the UFC's Fight Pass subscriptions tripled. To this day, her 13% pay-per-view buy rate increase during her reign remains the largest for any fighter, male or female. Her popularity contributed to the rise of 3 new women's divisions. By 2015, the debut of the strawweight division, headlined by Joanna Jędrzejczyk, proved that female fights without Ronda could generate nearly 500,000 pay-per-view buys, something previously thought impossible. Rousey didn't just open doors for female fighters, she forced the UFC to pay them better. Women like Amanda Nunes now earn 25 times more than they did before Rousey's rise. Women's MMA went from being non-existent on pay-per-view cards to generating 22% of total pay-per-view revenue. After her losses to Holly Holm and Nunes, UFC's quarterly revenue dropped 42%, proving just how irreplaceable she was. She brought in hundreds of millions of dollars.
In my opinion, this is going to be a low-key exciting one. Even though I wish it was happening 10 years ago, there's no reason to think that these two legends won't put on a show. I'll be looking forward to catching this one. Who do you guys think will win this fight? Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe. Peace.
I actually reached out to her and I was like, you know what, this is the best fight and we know that we have lightning in a bottle here. And she said that, you know what, I'm going to trust you, I'm going to follow your lead. Now we're here.
Well, obviously the motivation is Ronda personally asked me, and she was quite the charmer.
I'd like to have some more kids. I'd like to write some more graphic novels, be able to close this chapter of my life in a way that I'm not like slamming the book shut and throwing it across the room, but like affectionately closing it.